The internet today is rife with the figure of the Muslim Dawah pro voices that often frame Islam as inherently restrictive, especially for women and for queer Muslims. Basically, anyone who resides outside the subject position of a man, and they frame them as fitna. These interpretations have not just been limiting, but they've actively shaped how the faith is perceived and how it is experienced. And for many women and queer Muslims, this has made religion feel less like a space of belonging and more like one of exclusions, which is precisely why it becomes so important for us to be centering alternative narratives, stories, and interpretations by Muslim women scholars, by queer Muslims. We need to listen to their lives, how they live, how they practice faith, and how they've placed dignity and love and mercy as the foundation of Islam. So, on that note, I would like to talk about this memoir by Lamia Edge, Hijab, Butch Blues, published in 2023 by a non binary hijabi Muslim, and they talk about their lives from childhood to adolescence to adulthood while centering Quranic narratives and Quranic stories, which is so surprising because being non binary, a queer person, you somehow assume that faith and queerness they do not align together. But instead of Lamia's relationship with Allah being fractured as one would assume, it's actually so deep, so full of love and belief and mercy and dignity. So, as a child, Lamia does not yet have the language for queerness, but they instinctively find comfort in the stories of the Quran, particularly in the figures like Maryam, peace be upon her, Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The memoir is beautifully structured that way, and each chapter is basically mirrored with one Quranic narrative or challenges faced by the prophets. Lama is drawing parallels with the trials, uncertainties, and moments of faith experienced by the prophets. The book exists in sort of a tension. It is both unconventional yet deeply grounded. It navigates identity across faith, across geographies, across color, across religion. And there's a moment of realization while reading that the struggles of the prophets, their isolation, their perseverance, the search of meaning, all of it in many ways is so universal. So while there is pain, yes, but there is also endurance and a promise of mercy. And I think Lamia really develops on that, really learns from that. They do not let the society fracture the relationship they have with God, they have with Allah. It felt like an act of reclamation. It is tender, it is rebellious, it is reflective, and ultimately it's a text that makes you move towards speculation but also acceptance of the self, of the faith, and the possibility that the two were never meant to be apart. There was never any conflict to begin with.